with that said, this was the car that we built in our shop. Now, when we do these cars, we do it with a lot of collaboration from the plant, and that they're really the specialists on building Corvettes. And when we, when we paint a car in our shop, and here again the plant didn't have a car yet, so we're disassembling the car and reassembling with new parts, and some of the interior parts in that are prototype parts. So there's some one-off stuff in here. And here again is to show the concept, but get the idea kicked off into the market. So with a lot of collaboration, a lot of support from Steve and John Spencer, we were able to build this car. It's a car that if anyone to Sebring or whatever, it's really the only car that we have right now that represents the Z06 Caravan. You can see from the rear view. And here again, there's a full decal package on it. Back to the front. It does have on the windshield, it has a satin black Corvette lettering, which I like. It's kind of subtle. And then the wheels, you'll notice have a Z06 Caravan decal on the wheels. The door number, here again, it's customer installed. And I don't know close up, but on the aero package, there's actually a little carbon fiber crossflag. It goes a little back. And because we want people to understand that the ground effects are carbon fiber, but they're also Corvette pieces. They're not sold in the aftermarket rendition or whatever. So within those four elements, there's like a decal box that would come with this car. And the idea is that you, the customer, you can decide if you just want the wheel decals, that's fine, or if you just want the cross flags on the aero package, it's fine. It really gives you the freedom to, or if you just want to leave it all clean and leave the decals in the box. But it's really meant to be a customer-focused enhancement. Again, showing the rear view. The other thing that's different from the Z06 Caravan is it gets a body color roof panel. And the CFZ package will get you the black roof panel, which is carbon fiber. For this particular car, we chose to leave that off. Wanted to show the body color. Here again, it was a little better in showing off the new color. Was our choice. And then the other sister color that we'll be offering for this is Infernal Orange. Now, Infernal Orange isn't new to Chevrolet per se. You can see it on the Camaro. And I would tell you, I was a big advocate of the Infernal Orange. When we came out with Daytona Sunset Orange, it was, I would tell you, an orange within Corvette has its own special following. When we came out with that initial color, people will tell us it's a nice color, but it's a little coppery, kind of looking for a pure orange. And then when we came out with Atomic Orange, people, well, it's nice, it's a little light as far as orange. And I get questions like, why don't you just do a pure orange? And the Inferno seemed to be the best balance of that. I think it will be a good color when you, especially when you see it in the sun, and that I think you'll like it. So here again, just to recap on the decal package, in that it's a very modest decal package, but it's all customer installed. The door number does pay homage to this being our 50th anniversary for the Corvette mark, racing at Le Mans, so we wanted to feature that. The reason for the number 11 is simply because it's a 2011 car. And then along the bottom are the 5 development tracks that if you talk to our chassis people, these are the tracks that they most often use. The first track on the left is MRC, and then there's Road Atlanta. And then the next third and fourth tracks, those are actually Spring Mountains. The one's a 2.2 mile, and the other one's a 3.2 mile, and then VIR. And then here again, those are the 5 tracks. Not to say those are the only tracks, but those are the tracks that use the most often. And here again, we wanted to kind of pay homage to that. And just to recap the content of the Z06 Caravan. Now, the option code for this car is ULZ. I know I'm cropped off there a little bit. Sorry about that. But here again, the ceramic brakes, the 19-20-inch wheels, magnetic ride, the new carbon fiber hood, aero package, the decal package. But also, what I don't have in the photos, and I apologize, is it gets a special Alcantara suede interior. The seat inserts in that are great. It gets a piano black accents for the center console and for the steering wheel. The reason for the Alcantara, the suede, it's on the steering wheel as well. So when you do track events, and that you really want a little bit more grip in the seat, especially if you and I made this mistake where I'll put like some kind of leather protection on the seats or whatever, and those do just the opposite for you, because now you're sliding extra fast on your seats. So having the Alcantara seats will, we think, will really be a nice accent as well. This is a car here again that was built with our shop and the cooperation and support of the plant. And that, I'm not sure how many people watched Fair Jackson, but for that Easter weekend and that, they had this 3-day event, and I would tune into it, see what cars were running. And up to this point, the top selling cars were about 160,000, 170,000. So I was wondering, wonder how we'll do with our Caravan. And the whole idea was to auction off not so much this car, but the first build of this car. Well, when they were showing the video, or they were showing the audience that was at Fair Jackson, the front row had Jim Perkins, who was our Chevrolet general manager, and I would tell you, I worked probably 10 years for him doing, when Chevrolet would come in and we always have presentations and such. Jim's a great guy, real car guy. He was sitting there with Rick Hendricks. When this car came up, there was another gentleman in the back who had already purchased 4 cars that day, and they were some pretty neat cars. He was bidding on this as well. Every time he bid, Mr. Hendricks just raised his hand. You know, it was just without reflex or whatever. Anyways, the gentleman in the back got to where he was like 265 reluctantly, and he made the bid, and Hendricks just took it right away. But anyways, he ended up getting the car, and I don't know if people remember, but Rick also bought the first build for the Camaro, so he's kind of got a special collection there going where he likes to get these first build cars.